Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Let's talk about leadership skills. How do we become good leaders? What does it take? So let's go down 5 ways that we can become better leaders. And if you're an alpha male, this list is for you. If you're not, this list is for you also. If you're beta, this could help you become a better leader if you're already in a leadership role. And nobody is a perfect leader. Nobody. There's never been one. Not even your heroes. There's always areas, 1 or 2 areas, more than 1 area, where people are weak in their leadership skills, and then there may be some areas where they really excel, and that's why they have the position. As leaders, it's good to just be able to take a look at ourselves, and let's start with the first one. These are in no particular order, but the first one is to be humble. A good leader is humble. It's hard to follow a leader who has a big ego, who is really self-inflated, thinks way too much of themselves, thinks they're perfect, they're the best looking, they have the biggest muscles, they're the richest, they're the smartest, everything is so simple for them, and you're just so fucking stupid. There's people that will talk to you like this, and they want to be your role model, your mentor. They want you to follow them. It's hard to follow somebody who doesn't have humility. One of the things about being humble is that a good leader needs to be able to look at themselves conscientiously and to see their weaknesses and see where they've messed up and to identify and diagnose themselves, the problems within themselves, before others. Before the torch lit riot outside your window, you need to be able to start seeing where you fuck up and to change those things about yourself. And a good leader can come out and admit when they're wrong, admit when they messed up. This is one of the frustrating things about our current president, is he doesn't seem to admit when he was wrong. It's always pointing the finger at the last president, pointing the finger at the other party, pointing the finger at other countries, leaders of other countries. It just gets to be exhausting. Just take some ownership. A good leader, even if he didn't do it. I will take ownership of a problem if it was my team. You don't come down on them, you come down on me. I take responsibility for what happened as a team because I'm the leader of that team. So being humble is an important quality of leadership, and that's what gives leaders longevity, to be able to weather storms. So they don't just get rid of you every time, you know, your followers don't just dump you every time something happens. And this could be your employees, this could be your family members, this could be your social group. There's all kinds of ways that we're leaders, and it's important to have humility. And that shows true strength, because when you have a big ego, it just makes you look weak, a little brat. A good leader is articulate, can express themselves clearly so you can understand what they're saying. They have a good mastery, a good command of the language, of the English language. They know different ways to express themselves. If one way doesn't work, they can express themselves in another way without getting frustrated. Being articulate comes with practice. It can come somewhat naturally if you're lucky enough to grow up in a house with educated parents who are also articulate. But if you grew up in some little redneck house or some kind of Ebonic house where your parents are, talking in slang the whole time, you're going to end up talking that way too. Apples don't fall far from the tree. And you're going to have, doesn't mean you're stuck talking that way for the rest of your life. You're just going to have to read a lot, reading and writing, getting involved in English literature in some way, reading English literature, and then write a journal, write stories. Practicing language helps you to be a better orator, a better speaker. Being charismatic is important. It's one thing to be able to be a clear speaker, so you speak very clearly, but you want to be charismatic. Some people are boring. There's lots of boring people out there that are really articulate. They just put you right to sleep when they talk. I believe that a good leader has a certain amount of charisma, and we can look back on certain presidents in our recent history that had a lot of charisma, and people liked them for that. I mean, look at Obama. Honestly, Obama was a likable guy. I would argue personally that it wasn't his resume that people voted for. It was just that they liked him. Same with George Bush, the second one, the younger one. He was just the kind of guy you'd want to have a beer with. He seemed like a real funny, down-to-earth, kickback kind of dude. You'd like to just hang out with him at a bar or something and chat about shit. This guy, he's probably got the funniest stories that you ever heard in your goddamn life. It's just good leadership skills, is to be charismatic. I've known some real deal bosses. Not little shot callers or little prison boys who like to strut around and act like that they're running shit, but real bosses, mafia bosses. I've met a couple, not a lot. These guys are not mad dogging you from across the room. They're not posturing and trying to act like tough guys. They're not guys like Debo. These guys are really charismatic people. You'd be surprised. A good leader has problem-solving skills. They can always be thinking about how to solve the problem. Some people, when something happens, most people go into a reaction mode, and most people's reaction mode is to complain. Oh no, can you believe that happened? I'm so angry, I'm so sad, oh no, oh no, oh no. And people go into that. You get a room full of 10 people, the vast majority of them are going to be like, oh man, that's so fucked up, or, whatever. Sit there and complain and bitch about shit. None of that is solving the problem. That's just negative energy. It does nothing, that kind of stuff. There's going to be one guy in the room who's like, I get it, that really sucked. No, I get it, that sucked. I'm not stupid, I saw it, I was there, that sucked. But what are we going to do about it? This is one of the things that I like to ask people. I get sick of hearing people complain. I do life coaching, and I will listen to you complain about your life for a little bit, but you better be prepared for a question, and I'm going to ask you this motherfucking question every single fucking time, and the question's going to be, what are you going to do about it? Because I don't want to just sit here and listen to you bitch about your life like some kind of fucking victim or some kind of weakling. I want to empower you. We want to come up with solutions. Get through this. Keep moving forward. I understand this with business. In my motorcycle shop and many of the businesses that I've owned, my goal is to keep moving forward. So there's just obstacles, and maybe a bill needs to be paid, maybe a customer is unhappy, but I need to move forward. I need to move past all of those. There's some people that will just sit there and be like, well, that ruins the day. God damn. So you want to be a problem solver. A good leader, this is the last one, fifth one, is a hard worker. If your idea of being a boss is to live in a mansion and sit back, in some chair looking out some window at your employees, or being detached somehow from hard work and from the daily suffering of the daily operations of your organization, if you think that you're going to not be part of that as the boss, but you're going to reap all the rewards, that's an unrealistic idea of leadership. If you think that you're going to be on the golf course while everybody else is sitting there making you money, that's an unrealistic idea of leadership. A good leader is the hardest worker. A good leader pulls the most weight. A good leader shows up before everybody else and leaves after everybody else. The boss of a company is not above cleaning the bathroom. He doesn't have to. He pays people for that, but he would do it. Who was it? It was the founder, I believe it was Pizza Hut. Oh, I don't remember. I took business classes at USC. I ended up teaching business at the Small Business Association at USC briefly. And I learned all these little examples, and they were really cute, and I used them a lot. And I can't remember if it was Pizza Hut. Let's just go with Pizza Hut. And the CEO of Pizza Hut would show up to work every single day, and he's a millionaire, he's rich as fuck, he's the top of a mega corporation, and he would often be seen when he goes from his car to the building, picking up trash that they have blown into the parking lot. Here's a guy who has a mansion the size of a shopping mall and a limousine as long as your whole block, and here he is picking up garbage. I think that would be beneath him. But it's not beneath him. He doesn't need to call somebody and say, hey, you see that garbage in the parking lot? Go get that shit. He doesn't need to do that. He'll pick it up. So I could go on for the next 20 minutes with examples of how leaders will get dirty and work the hardest and show their employees how they got to be boss. Now, I know every aspect of this organization. I could jump in at any level and start rocking and rolling. Nobody is perfect at all of these qualities. You're gonna have weaknesses in these areas. There's plenty of other areas of leadership skills that we could probably go into, but these are some of the main ones. And it's just good to be aware of our strengths and our weaknesses, so we know how to balance out our leadership styles, our management style. I don't know, I hope this has been helpful. This is all food for thought. Thanks for watching.